Today on Uncommonly Good MTG, we're diving deep for Dimir Toxic. Dimir meaning blue and black, toxic because we are putting the icky finger to people and teaching them what the point of poison counters are. If that sounds good to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, and this episode will be performed entirely by Sock Puppets, Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Film before a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to a deck I found over on Untapped GG, and it was just called Dimir Toxic. I just grabbed that thing and put it out. Yeah, my big problem is, let me just pull up the stats here. I've been trying to play for the last like 2 days before this. This makes day 3, and I've just been getting rolled. I mean, all my decks have sucked. I've been picking stuff off the list that said that they're like 70% win decks and just picking up zeros with it. So I feel like I've been cursed again. How many decks did I play? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decks. And my 8th one is finally the one to win. I've gone, like I said, 2 full days trying to put out something to work. Nothing. So I went back to one of the old faithfuls. We're playing Dimir Toxic. That's what we're playing today. Yeah, it's not original. It's not new. All the cards are from BO1 from 1,000 years ago, right? Still standard, but that's what we're playing. Why are we playing it? Because this is going to be a curse breaker. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to break the curse, and from this point forward, which is, I guess, the start of a new meta starting tomorrow, things are going to be awesome again for a couple more weeks at least, right? Hoping, crossing my fingers, hoping for the best. All right, so let's get down to it. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the cards in this deck. We're going to talk about how it should work, and then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. Ultimately, here's the deal. You just got to land some poison on somebody, just one, and then you proliferate until they're up to 10, and then they die. So let's watch that happen. And what do we got? We got a dude, Death Touch and Toxic 1. That's it. Gets out early. Hopefully you can swing around, get that poison out there, because you got to get that seed started. There's a -1 and proliferate. Proliferate doesn't do anything unless they have at least 1 toxic counter on it. So hold on till you get that poison counter on somebody. This counters a spell. If they have 3 or more poison counters, then they can't undo it. So there you go. What does this say? Proliferate, and you get to draw cards. Poison counter, draw card. Bounce and proliferate. If you got 3 or more, then you can kill any creature you feel like. -4, and proliferate. What do we got here? Provided, let's see. If they have 3 or more counters, then you pay only 1 for it rather than 3. You get to draw 2 cards. This one's draw 2 cards, and you lose 2 life. Each opponent gets a poison counter, and this is they get a poison counter, and they have to sacrifice a creature. We got Mirrex that's pushed out a Might, which is Toxic 1. And other than that, we just got a bunch of weird-ass lands that some of them does points of damage, some of them gives you life. I'm not sure they're super important. But anyways, there we go. So what are we going to do? We're going to get out some creatures. We're going to try to seed them with poison. We could do that with either the creatures or with Prologue the Phyresis. Worst case scenario, like Vraska's Fall. But then after that, if you get that 1 point of poison counter on the opponent, it's just draw cards, kill creatures, proliferate. That's it. Just got to pin them down, got to be all control-y about the situation, and then win the game. You just got to get to 10. That's the magic number you're looking for. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black Queen Sholdred, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, to hear lamentations of the women. All right, playing against Warfighter 15. Because apparently Warfighter 14 and 13 was already taken. We don't have any creatures. We just gotta make this work. Anything... There's poison right there. These two don't help. You do. Like I say, you can't really counter anything. Let's just see if he tries to start countering my card draw. Looks like he's got the option. Nope, he just shoot me in the face. As one does. Bounce. Yeah, let's go for the card. All right, so we got it. We don't have any creatures, so we're just going to be doing this by drawing cards and proliferating, apparently. All right, let me go touch him. Icky finger. Icky finger. That's an instant. All right, let's go draw some cards. Yeah, I'll do it. It's fine. All right, we got a tap land. That's not cool, man. All right, that guy's gone. No progress made, though. Still, he's a 3. That we're getting kind of... I should be killing him by now, is the problem. These are the cards that are going to progress my agenda. These are not. We did get to the point where we could take out anything with these cards. All right, Warfighter. He's going for land. All right, number 1. Let's go toast or crispy that guy. Instant. Sorcery. Instant. I'll tell you what, let's just chill. And cast something on his turn. Let's play like a blue player for a second. That was probably the wrong move. Probably drowning Ichor would have been better. Kind of wasted that. All right, the bounce is nice. Let's go proliferate. And this guy's going to get me further. 5. Six. Yeah, he's just going for my face. Have the ability to counter. All right, let's just let it go. Sorcery, sorcery, sorcery. Counter, counter. I can cast that on his turn. Aha! All right, let's see what else we can grab here. All right, I'll put this out. Well, I am killing myself. That's a big part of this nutritious breakfast, isn't it? All right, got to survive. Hopefully, with that last card, he's not going to be able to do anything bad to me. And we win! And we win. Submit. That's a full 10, Oko. Full 10. Victory! All right, playing against Iron Gob. No bats. That's none of that. We got good guy, kill, kill, little card draw. All right, it's a thing. He's got to get that poison started. All right, that's all taken care of. Get another guy out. We just got to be aggro about this. And in we go. All right, so you can put another one out. We'll have to kill it with the other Affliction. What do we got here? All right, so next turn looks like we're drawing cards. We got them up to 5 toxics right now, 5 poison counters. It's good. We can probably do the rest with what we have in our hand. Is that a thing? All right, there's 6. Poison counter is the important part. 7. You're gonna drop it off? You're gonna sacrifice each? There you go. All right, so each of these will finish the game. We just got to get up that point. I can drop 2 of them next turn. I'm sure he'll put a creature out. There we go. Eight. Here goes number 9. And either of these are going to finish the game for me. You're not going to. You're just a counter spell. This is the one that's going to finish the game for me. Just counting down. Oop, I'm under 20. Saints preserve us. And we win. Icky finger for the win. Mom, 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 mom. All right, playing against AcyclicEight. Acyclic. 2 mana. No do. I guess we got 1 do. There we go. Keep. All right, Rabbit. We're going to play it the rabbity way. We get the 3 mana Vraska ourselves a Paw Patch. I tell you, we're just gonna nail him while we got the opportunity. All right, well. We can always bounce our pal back. Making him lose that. All right, so the question is, I'm trying to keep him resource poor at this moment. He's got a whole nother one. And in we go. We need another mana. Which we don't appear to be getting. Let's see what this is. Let's draw some cards. And we picked up another mana, which is great. And with this, we can put out 2 more of these guys. A little shake and bake. You can hear the quake. All right, it's up to 5. That's halfway there. What do we got? Poison counter, poison counter. We got 4 points of poison right there. All right, if you want to block, block, man. All of them. Got to keep up the pressure at this point. Who are you giving up? Sophie's Choice. See, this elf is too badass looking to be a mana elf. That's the problem. Should have been a double striker. There's 8. Ooh, hexproof. Good for you. There's 8. So that sucked. I had that whole thing. It should have proliferated, but because it fizzled out, we got screwed. Trick or treat. Still 3 mana. That's rough. We got 20 lands with the thing. That's probably the big reason why. All right, he's a 9. Sure, why not? I got nothing better to do at the moment. And we win. He thought I was about to poison him. That was not going to be the case. Victory! All right, can we force this guy down? Fast enough, that's the question. Hopefully get ourselves a land. Didn't get it. We're out of blue at the moment then. That was my big hope. We could pull up a blue land at that point. All right, is it 3? We could do a lot with 3. Specifically this card. You can put the Knigget out. And we got the blue we're looking for. Excellent. Let's go ahead and rip that guy apart. 4. And we win. And we win. Boom, boom. And we're playing against Doknachos. Doknachos. Gotcha. Gotcha before the whistle. That is important. Kill, kill, kill. We don't have anything really great going on. I want to go for the Phyresis. That'll be good. All right, no big deal. Got the poison in there. Excellent. Proliferate. That does not proliferate. That does. That does. All right, we'll kill that guy. No problem. No matter what you take, that bat's going to be gone. And we'll get you at the icky finger. We'll touch you. It'll be icky. Yeah, hold on to it as long as you want there, bud. One. I don't have any card draw, so that's not going to help. All right, it's up to 2. We got to get 8 more on this guy. You know what I have? I got a bounce and 3 kill cards. Little card draw would be nice. There we go. All right, so I got some more card draw. If we keep that going, we can take this full steam. I think he's scared to put out creatures at this point. Yeah, the instant, it's going to help against something little. I get the impression this guy's playing little creature. I got nothing that's an artifact or a creature card. You discard Loving Tidable Man. There we go. There we go. There's a creature. It's interesting. I could kind of kill my own guy if I really wanted to. Get another point of damage in there. Is he going to put out his own creatures is the question. So I only have the ability to proliferate 3 more points, which would get him up to 7. Gotta do the countdown. 1, 2, 3. And number 4. Trick or treat! Oh, cool. He doesn't have anything to do. Great. We'll just keep at him. We can always bounce our guy back, can't we? We could. We could bounce him back. That's a good way of saving his butt. Hold on to your butts, yo. Gone. All right, let's do some more icky finger. All right, we can still save our guy. We can go after little dudes. We can go after big guys now, 2 at a time. He's up to 7. We have lethal in the next turn, probably, if he puts a creature out. Those are sorceries, though. All right, there's 8. Bounce it. 9. And it's coming for the 10. Here we go. And good game. Winner, winner! Victory dinner. And we're playing against JohnAzedo. 2 mana, no creatures. Anything that does poison? That's the guy right there. stretch out their icky finger. Show them what's what. Actually, moving it there was fine. All right, here we go. Singleton 1. Death Touch. And let's proliferate a little bit. These don't do anything. They just draw me cards. That bounces and proliferates. That one can... These are all... These are great little drawers, but not what I'm looking for. Oh, let's draw some cards. We're not getting the lands we need. These will throw some poison down, though. We got to get 6 out, proliferate. These guys are not anything like that. Let's go for the 1. Boink. We'll put him out. Because if he doesn't have the ability to protect, then at least we got something going on. That's a sorcery. Bounce. And in for 1. Let's go ahead and draw our 2 cards, as one does. Alright, card draw. Can't counter at all. This is probably never going to get used. And we win! That is glorious victory! Alright, so here we are with Dimir Toxic. There's not anything new in here. It's the same deck that we've been seeing before, but it's still holding up after all of this time. Still holding together. It's still a good deck. It still does what it, you know, the reason why it does so well is it plays its own game. I mean, it's just like, it's like almost like a mill deck to a certain degree. It's just like, look, I don't even care. I'll put out some creatures. Yeah, maybe I will. How many creatures do we even have in here? We got 4. That's it. 4 creatures. I mean, we got a Mirrex and stuff, but it's really just Bilious Skulldweller, and really, it's really there just to defend a little bit. Because what you can do is you're going to draw cards, forcing them to take, you know, to proliferate. You're going to kill their creatures, which will then proliferate. And eventually they won't be able to do anything, and then they just die of poisoning. So that's what's great about this deck, is it works on its own agenda. All right, so let's get down to it. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? That is a hard... These cards are all so wussy across the board. Not really all that great. But together as a pack, they become a very formidable deck. Is any one card better than any other in here? Not really. Not really. Yeah, I'm not going to give this one MVP. No MVP for this deck. It's not really worth it. This deck, individually, these cards are fine. You know, possibly the Skulldweller just because he is a creature and can be used multiple times. But it's just nothing super fantastic. All these things are a bunch of little tiny things where the synergy of it is what wins the day. So yeah, no MVP. No MVP. All right, so is this deck competitive? I ended up with a 64% win rate, which was really good. Yeah, that means I won 2 out of every 3 games I ended up playing. It did very well. What was the bad thing? It was aggro. Aggro was hard to play against. They could usually go faster than I had the ability to kill them. It takes about 5 rounds to be able to kill them, maybe 6. But, you know, on a good day, sometimes this thing would go slow. But for the most part, it was okay. But you're definitely playing more of a mid-rangey kind of field, despite the fact that everything's so cheap. That's because you weren't really doing any damage. There's no way of multiplying things. You know, you were just doing one at a time, but you're just being very controlling. So this is more of a control deck. As such, then, Yeah, I'm trying to say, where am I even talking about right now? Is it competitive? Yes. There you go. It's competitive. Why is it competitive? Because I picked it up off of the list, the competitive list, and it said that it was a competitive deck that got over 50%. So it's a competitive deck. It's not going to win you anything on the ranked ladder. You know, it's not going to win it that way. Aggro is too strong, and it'll take you down. But other than that, the deck does very well. And if you want to play a bunch of toxic stuff, this is probably the best one there is out there. You know, who cares about the Thin Danger thing? That's an okay deck. This one is better than that. Just because this deck plays itself, it doesn't play its opponent. All right, so yes, this is a competitive deck. Number 2, was this deck fun? I appreciated the fact that everything was so cheap. I appreciated the fact that I can play everything quickly. I appreciated the fact that I didn't really have to worry about what my opponent was doing. I could just play my own game for the most part, and we're totally cool. Nobody has the ability to get rid of poison counters. They don't really have the ability to defend against it. All they could do is be faster than your deck. That's pretty much it. So it was fun to play. It gets a little boring because like a mill deck, it's a little repetitive. You're just doing the same things over and over again. But still, you're like, you know, you're watching the clock. You're just like, oh, am I going to get the right cards at the right time? I got enough. Do I have in hand? But like I felt like I was just counting to 10. 1, 2, 3. One at a time, just getting it up there. So it wasn't the most fun deck I've had, but still it was fun to play, mostly because of how cheap the cards were. Lastly, was this deck interesting? I mean, no, it's an old deck. It's a deck that's been around for a long time. People are still playing this deck. There's no new cards in here from anything. These are all old cards. To be able to make this happen, everything has to do proliferate or poison. So it's all from like all will be one, just over and over again. All will be one. And if you haven't picked up those cards, this is a great deck to pick up. It is fantastic, and it's a cool deck to play. Is it interesting? It's interesting in that in all of the meta, it stands by itself as a big weird deck that does its own thing. So I would say that makes it an interesting deck. It's just not new. It's its own deck. And I got to tell you, I played this deck like a lot, and usually it doesn't work for me. And I remember I was talking to somebody and they said they had the same problem. Other people, it works for it just fine. So I was glad today it did fairly well for me, because usually it just totally craps the bed when I play with it. There you go. It's Dimir Toxic. It's awesome. All right, so let's add this up. Was this deck competitive? Yeah. Was this deck fun? Yeah. Was this deck interesting? Barely. So I'm going to give this deck an A-, just because it's a great deck. It's a great deck, but it's not super great, and it's not super fun, and it's not super interesting. But still, it's a good deck that if you haven't played it before, you should give it a try. Break out those wild cards, because this is a really weird and cool deck to play. All right, so there you go, A- deck. If you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. All right, that's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. See you next time, Space Cowboys. Later.